Okay, so this for question 9 is a topic on hot job. The first part of this question asks you to show a quadratic equation, and they give you 7 marks for it. Then subsequently, your job is to solve the equation to get the x coordinate, and the last part is finding the coordinate of C. Essentially, it's quite easy. If let's say you've got time running out, you can actually solve the equation directly in the second part first. Okay, and then you can continue. If let's say the last part is for you to find the fourth coordinate. So the last part will make use of the method of the midpoint of the diagonal. So anyway, okay, so the for the first part, our job is to find the x-intercept of x coordinate of D. And we're supposed to show that it fulfills a quadratic equation. So there must be some information that lead us to this equation. So the first thing will be the shape is a parallelogram, and then they gave us the parameter. So obviously I got to make full use of the parameter. So I need to make full use of the parameter. So in order to make full use of the parameter, you need to think, will you be able to find a specific length first? So in this case, I actually can find my length formula, can use my length formula to find length AB. So you can actually work out your length formula to find AB. So if you find AB, it will be a 13 unit. So I will not show you the working. Okay, you can try doing it yourself. So by the property of parallelogram, that means this will also be a 13 units. So if you use the parameter to subtract the 13 and then you divide by 2, you will get 10. So these 10 units will be for these two parts. So your job is to make use of the 10 units to get some information on D. So let D be xy. And now that you know that the length is 10 units, we will try to form the length formula. So I'm going to try to form the length formula. So try to form the length formula. So you will get an equation. So that's how you make use of the length formula. But if you observe, if you try to use the length and it forms this, you need to get rid of the y. You need to get rid of the y so that you can show the equation. So how do you get rid of the y? You got to find another property that involves D. So D is on this equation. So D is on the line EB. So you can actually try to find. You can use these 2 points to find the gradient. You can use these 2 points to find the gradient. So you can go and find the intercept. Okay, so you either use this point or this point. You can find the intercept. So eventually you will be able to get this. So that will be the second equation. So if you try to do your simultaneous properly, you should be able to get the quadratic equation. So basically, we are using two properties. I'm using the length property, I'm using the equation property. So both property must be what's the coordinate D fulfill. Then you should be able to get the equation. Subsequently, you solve the equation as per normal. So your job is to determine the coordinates of D. So you solve as per normal, like how would you solve a quadratic equation? So you will be getting two answers. So, and your job is to explain why the diagram is necessary. Okay, so if you do not have the diagram, you wouldn't know whether it will be on the positive side or the negative side of the x-axis. So you need to explain that you will need the diagram to know if D lies on the positive or the negative x-axis. Then subsequently, because in the previous part, you already gotten the equation. So you use the equation that you have to find the proper coordinate. So in this case, we are rejecting the negative. So your coordinate will end up to be 1, 8. So once you get the coordinate 1, 8, the last one is quite easy. The last part to find the coordinate of C. So I will show this part 4 here. So once you know that this is a 1, 8, so this will be the fourth coordinate. So for the method of fourth coordinate, you use the midpoint. So for part C, you let C be AB, and the method will be they share the same midpoint. So midpoint of AC will be equal to the midpoint of BD. So you try executing this method. So this fourth coordinate of parallelogram will also work for fourth coordinate of rhombus, rectangle, or square. So this one is a very basic and important method for O-level chord job.